This is week 8 of Monday Meet the Creators Subscribers Q&A. Join me in the video, guys. We've got a brand new guest. Hi guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Martin. This is Lego Fan UK. Welcome to my next Meet the Creators Monday Subscribers Q&A. And today we have a new guy to my channel, a new guy to probably a lot of our channels. And he is all the way over in Melbourne. Absolutely brilliant with some really cool stuff. His name is Andrew, and he's from CheepJokes.
Hello.
How you doing,
for having me. Going well.
No problem. Thanks for coming on the channel.
No, that's all right. It's a nice Sunday evening thing for me to do. You know, mixing it up during the week or start to the week almost.
Yep. I really appreciate you coming on because I know it's different time zones, and I'm early in the morning. You're late at night, but yeah. Really good to see you come on.
No, that's all right. I went down to the beach, had some pizza and beer beforehand, and just made sure I was home in time for it. So
that's brilliant.
It's how different our time zones are.
It's weird, isn't it? Like say, it's Christmas nearly, but obviously over your way it's summer.
Yeah, it's summer, and just a little bit closer to Christmas than you guys by about 12 hours or so, I guess.
You got to open your presents before we do.
Yeah, that's right. We get to see everything first and let you know what it's like.
That's it. Well, so thank you for coming on again. It's quite nice to get somebody that probably a lot of my community might not know your channel, which hopefully they've had a good look at the channel over the last sort of few days and got some good questions for you. So it's going to be quite fun to get to know yourself and know a bit about your channel. And
obviously, if they haven't checked it out just yet, just head here, guys.
There will be a link. Yeah, there will be a link in the description. So please go check it out after the video. So, right, are you ready? Should we get straight in on it?
Yeah, let's go. Hit me with the hard questions first.
Yeah, I think this might be a hard one. It'll be right. So, question number 1 is from our Lego Life. Now, if you haven't seen these guys, they're amazing. They do some really, really good stop animation. Oh, absolutely amazing stuff. Really good. So they're basically saying they love your animation. What programs you use for filming stop motion these days? Also, second follow-up, what method you use to animate the dialogue and Lego minifigure mouth movements?
Yeah, so for filming, I use a Canon 800D. So I upgraded from mobile devices a long time ago. So that's what I use, which is great because you can control all the functions manually. So focus, white balance, all your normal photography settings. It's got the digital zoom in on the focus, so you can get it really tight on what you're filming. And then I've got a shutter button that I use as well, so I don't have to touch the camera to take the photo, so that keeps the camera perfectly still. And then I've got Dragon Frame as well, which I actually haven't made animations for quite some time, really. I did one last week, but it's been a long time between animations. But Dragon Frame is kind of an industry standard program for stop motions, and what that does is you'll take one photo and then you'll move your figures, and it'll give you a ghost layer. It's called an onion layer of your previous frame, so you can see how far you've moved your characters before you take the next photo, and then you can play things back as well, and it shows you everything you've taken, and you can get a good feel for what you're filming. Because a lot of the time when I've made animations in the past, the majority of my channel I've made has all been doing it blind, essentially. So I haven't had that onion layer or playback feature, and it's just me and the camera moving the Lego, and I've just got to hope that it's working out all good. And you blue tack everything down so nothing's going to move. You make sure you don't bump the camera, because basically at that point it's start all over again. So you learn to be very, very patient with animation. And the second part of the question was about the mouth movements.
Yeah, the mouth movements and the dialogue.
Yeah, so with that, I'll generally pick out one frame that is kind of suitable, and there might be other movements happening in the background, but I'll generally have the character perfectly still. Otherwise, I've got to make multiple frames with mouth movements. If I pick just one frame, I can chuck that into Photoshop. There's a thing you do called content aware, and it basically, let me grab my giant example minifigure here. It'll you do like a cutout around the mouth and do the content aware, and it'll turn it all yellow, the same color as the skin, and it'll put shine in the same place and all the rest of it. So basically just like a magic removal. And then I've got 9 frames of mouth movements made up, like a comic style mouth movement. I think I've got a male and female version, and I'll layer those in the same position over the top of where the mouth was originally. And then that leaves me with 10 frames, 9 of them with phonetic mouth movements. I'll pull that into my editing timeline, and I'll have the recorded voice of audio. Then it's basically just every 1/3 of a what would it be, 1/10 of a frame, I'm putting in a mouth movement shape that is corresponding to the sound that I'm hearing from the dialogue. So it's quite time consuming and painful, but if you want to do mouth movements, that's my way of doing it. I know there are better and easy ways to do it via After Effects, which I just haven't learned yet.
I say it's a lot of work, but it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, it is. And like anything, animation's all practice, and I've done a bunch of tutorials on how to make animation, and just know that your first one's going to be the longest, hardest, and the worst one you ever make, and just keep trying to improve something every video you do going forward. And that's what I try to do when I make a video. Try to do something I haven't done before. Push your limits and try to learn something.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do, isn't it? I mean, they do some awesome videos, so I think that is going to help them a lot, because they want to try and do like the dialogue thing as well. And like I say, I wouldn't have a clue how to do it, but good to find out from other people.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it goes for anything you do. So, with your interviews you're doing on Mondays, your Wednesday stream, your Friday videos, even though there's a consistency to them and you get a flow happening, just, I always try to improve something every time you do something. Otherwise it just gets stagnant, and that could be, updating, a fresh background, or something in the background, your lighting, your focus. It could be anything. But it all helps to create a better product every time you're doing a video.
Yeah. And I love your lighting behind you. So I like the sort of purpley colours.
Yeah, thank you. They're basically like a teacup sized LED light that I got from a DJ shop. Just plug them in the wall, and they've got a little remote here. You can change the color with them as well.
That's cool.
You can flick this one on green that easily,
Yeah.
So very handy for when I'm filming. It just adds a little bit of color to the background, and that's a new addition that I've done recently since streaming have become more popular for me during COVID. I've added some coloured lights. That's my new addition.
That's good, that is. Before we go to the next question, that large minifig, where and how did you get that? Because that is cool.
Yeah, so it's a 3D print.
Oh, okay.
Minifig. So there's a couple of guys in Australia who do it now. This one is from, I'd have to look up his name, but it's something as simple as 3D printed minifigs, I think.
Yeah.
I have to check. But he was putting up photos of them. He'd done a few characters that are more familiar in the Lego world. I sent him a picture of my sig fig. I'm like, can you do that? He's like, yep. And didn't hear from him for a while. And next minute he said, it's ready. So, he prints out all the, the torso elements, puts them into place, and then vinyl prints the stickers for them and pops them on there. So there's a lot of them popping up around here now.
I'm going to pick your brains later. I need to get one of them.
Yeah. I don't know what shipping to the UK would be like, but he could definitely do it for you.
Yeah, I'll have a look. That's really cool. Right, we're going to move to the next question. This one is from Brixworth. He says, how long does it take you to do a 800-piece set in stop motion build? He watched the Ecto 1 build, and he said that he got some high level of patience, and he tips his hat to you.
Yeah, I think patience is the biggest key with anything like that. And I think Ecto 1, isn't it like 2,600 pieces? So
that one is a lot.
Yeah, don't cut me short on those 800 pieces. It was a lot more than that. That was painful. So I think by itself, a good speed builder, it's about 6 hours. So doing it with animation, I had to borrow the set off a friend who got it as a review set before any of the images leaked out. So he'd built it already. So I had another hour, 2 hours of taking it apart first, which included me sorting it into color groups just to make it easier to put it back together.
Yeah.
So that was 2 hours, and then I think it was about 7 hours of the animation side of things. So, you know, going through the instructions, getting all your pieces out. Every piece I put in, I took that photo. So it was a piece, photo, grab the next piece, put it on, take the photo, grab the next piece. And it was this sort of motion leaning over this very small and uncomfortable desk here. And yeah, I was ruined by the end of that. That was and I was trying to punch it out before the embargo release date on the information. So, you know, you've got to be the first one on YouTube with this kind of thing for it to get views before everyone gets it and everyone's doing it. So yeah, that was what did I do? I started one evening. I think I did about 3 or 4 hours worth of it, and then I was working the next day, and I kind of got up early to smash it out before work, and then it's the editing afterwards as well to put it all together, which is pretty easy for that sort of thing. It's just deleting a few frames that you messed up. But yeah, that probably would have taken me about 7 hours all up. It was painful.
Yeah,
that was hard.
It was good.
Thank you. It's a lot of patience, though. Even just like lining up the camera initially, because you know you line it up on the desk, but you're like, all right, so it's 46 centimeters long. It's a big set. I can't remember what the exact size is, but it's like 40 odd centimeters. So you're like, all right, I got to have the camera far enough out that wherever I rotate it, that 40 centimeters is going to be in shot the whole time.
Yeah.
So even just the planning before you start shooting can be a good half hour, an hour. And then it's keeping an eye on the battery, make sure you don't knock the camera, don't knock your lights, and you know, it's a lot of concentration for 6-7 hours. Yeah, don't recommend it.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? I started doing some at the beginning when I first started my channel, and then I got to the point where I was like, I haven't got the right setup, so I kind of moved away from it.
Yeah, you know, a good trick to do though, I did it with the first Ultimate Collector's Edition Millennium Falcon. So what was that, from 2010 or 12 or you know, and that was probably 5,000 odd pieces. That one, it was huge. It was the biggest set at the time.
Yeah,
I had one of those, and I took it apart piece by piece and took a photo every time, and then reversed the footage so it looked like it was getting built from scratch. And that one's on my YouTube. If you dig back far enough, it's I think it's got 500,000 views or something. So it's hopefully easy to find if you sort by views. That was a little trick I used for that one.
I'll tell you what, I'll put a link in the description, so if the guys want to check that one out,
yeah,
you can see how it looks. Because if you, like, say, if you've done it reversed and then you've done it the other way, so it looks like you're building it.
Yeah, exactly right. And you know, the purists will pick up the pieces aren't getting put on in the way that they should, as per the instructions. But I think it came down to about a 7-minute video for 5,000 pieces. You're not going to notice, you know.
Nah, that's not bad. That was 7 minutes. That'll probably take me about half hour.
yeah. Well, it depends how quick you want the frame rate for the build, and you know, doing it that quick probably is enough to trick people to think it's actually time-lapse build. So
yeah, brilliant. That is cool. Well, I'll stick a link in for that one. We're going to go to the next question now, which is from Brick In It. I met him back in March. His channel's done really, really well. He's asking, what's the theme that got you into Lego?
So I guess it was more mid-90s. So I did inherit a bunch of my dad's Lego as a child, but that was more basic blocks. You know, those really old police cars that are 4 studs wide and very chunky. Mid-90s, it was the that black and red space theme with the fluorescent Mtron. That's right. Yeah. I remember I had a very little, one of the smaller sets you get. You know, it was like a $5 set of one of those, and that's probably one of the ones I remember most as a child. And then there was a few Pirates ones as well. We had a few classic space from the 80s as well. From I guess our dad must have got us when we were quite young. But yeah, I think it was that sort of mid-90s Mtron space set that I played with the most in that era. And then we'd have, you know, just the big plastic box of Lego that you pour out on a bed sheet and just do a bunch of free building. Was probably the most of it for myself and my brother.
best way. And then you leave them on the floor, and then your dad treads on them. And
yeah. Well, that's the thing. We had just a flat sheet, not a fitted sheet, and you'd basically pick up the four corners, put it into the bucket, and then pull the sheet out, and everything's in the bucket, nice and clean. So providing it was all on the sheet, it's a quick, easy cleanup. So hot tip out there for the parents who are wondering how to isolate the Lego building.
Definitely a picnic blanket, just get them in one space. But
that's so you need is a flat sheet. It's that easy.
Brilliant. But I love the M-Tron sets. I've got a couple, I've got like 3 or 4 the smaller sets with the minifigs.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got it around here somewhere, but I'm not going to go looking for it while we're doing this.
No, that's right. That's brilliant. Right, so the next one I'm going to ask you is from Mr. Berry Toys. He says, what other YouTube channels do you watch, and how did you get involved into the Lego community?
Obviously, you're one now. Make sure you subscribe, guys. Over there. Where is it? Where's the button?
I can never get that.
I think it'll be below me. I actually don't watch that much YouTube. I guess a lot of stuff will show up on Instagram, stuff that's popular and doing the rounds. But there's not a lot that I actually watch. I kind of just try to stay in my own world and not to get influenced by other people. YouTube that I watch isn't probably Lego. Like there's interview ones that I'm interested in, like Hot Ones. Have you seen Hot Ones?
I love them.
Yeah. So I find that's probably one of the most common ones I watch on YouTube. There's not a lot of Lego on there that I watch. You look at some of these animation YouTubes who have hundreds and thousands and millions of views, and they're just absolutely amazing, and I can't even figure out how they make them. So I'm kind of like, that's a level I'm not going to be at. I'm just happy making my ones with my silly stories and and
that's the thing. As long as you've got to be happy doing your own content, and if you look at others and you go, like, that's absolutely amazing, I'll never get to that. There's no point being like it. You might as well just concentrate on stuff, and like you say, get better at doing your own things, and just have fun, really, isn't it?
I think it really depends on what you want to achieve as well. Stop motion has always been just a way of storytelling for me, and the quality is important, but for me, it's about the funny dialogue or funny situations. A lot of those big ones, obviously, they're ridiculously amazing how they're made. They've got really cool special effects. They've got camera movement. Mine are quite stagnant in comparison to those. But they do a lot of fight scenes. It's a lot of action, a lot of blood, which isn't my style. I'm into kind of sitcom and just like straight up comedy or weird scenarios and things like that. So I don't need all those fancy camera movements and special effects.
That's good. I do like your animations. They are pretty good.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Did you see the 1966 Batman one I did? Have you watched that one? It's okay if you haven't.
Yeah, I know which one it is. It comes up on my channel when I go to your channel at the top.
That's right.
I haven't looked at them yet. I keep meaning to go click into them, but
no, that's okay. So with that one, it was basing it around the 1966 Batman, but I was putting modern jokes in there, so they're referencing Twitter and what else do they reference? There's a couple of like modern references in there, so I kind of break that wall between. Sure, it's 66 Batman, but let's have some modern day conversation in there, and that's kind of my style. And you read through the comments of it, it's quite funny. People are like, oh, they didn't have Twitter back then. That makes no sense. But, it's my video. It's my world. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And that's the beauty of stop motion is you don't have to play by the rules.
Yeah.
With anything you make, you have to play by the rules.
No, so I'll definitely check that one out. And also I'll get the guys. The guys will probably start checking out all your other videos as well.
Yeah, I hope so. I appreciate that.
Loads to do. I'm going to go to the next question now. This is from Cabbage Face. He's actually changed his name. Yes. It was Cabbage Face Lego. That's Cabbage Face. He does. I get on really well with him, and he does a lot of just random comedy videos. It's brilliant. It's really good. If you have a look, it's funny.
Okay.
What is your favourite Lego theme? And he said, "P.S. Love your work."
Yeah. Favorite Lego theme. It's probably modulars. Like every year when a modular comes out, I create a modular set. It's one that I have to have. I don't pass up on that. I do like licensed ideas sets. So, Ecto One, Friends, Big Bang. Friends and Big Bang are really good ones for me because you've got kind of this studio set that's perfect for toy photography. So if you want to do a basic comic book setup and just have a nice, pretty layout that looks good on camera, it's built, ready to go. You just chuck your characters in there with, props or whatever, and it's going to look good straight away. The Diagon Alley was good for a street scene as well. So if you're going for sort of that older British street scene look, they were a lot nicer than the newer modular sets for that purpose. But modular is probably up there, and Batman. I always get Batman.
Batman's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, on there as well. Because you're obviously modular, you're going to get the police station then.
Yeah, I'm so excited. There's a few of the guys who are in the registered Lego fan media who got them as review sets. I'm quite jealous of them getting theirs already. But yeah, January 1st, I'll be sure to pick up my one for sure.
You're not in the fan media yet?
Yeah, I'm in the Lego fan media, but
then send you one.
Not everyone gets everything.
Okay, yeah.
So I think there's about 200 Lego fan media ambassadors.
Yeah.
And they get, a handful of sets to give out for review. So they kind of choose blogs or channels or whatever that suit the product.
Yeah.
So today, for example, I just had a bunch of the next wave of Super Mario arrive and the Marvel stuff. So it's a bunch of Spider-Man sets that are coming out in January 1st. So those are up today. So sorry?
You're not allowed to show them now, though, are you?
I don't think the embargo's been lifted because they're on the website.
True.
And showing is available first. So I'm pretty sure it's safe to show them because they're on the website.
You got those little Mechs there, haven't you? And obviously, you can see I love the Mechs, and I can't wait for those ones. That Miles Morales one looks awesome.
You talking about this one?
Yeah, those ones.
Yeah, so that's the Captain America one, and then you've got the Thor one there as well. Oh, and the Spider-Man one, Miles Morales. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the Miles Morales one looks amazing.
And the Ghost Rider car as well, which looks pretty cool.
Jealous.
I got no idea. I haven't played the Mario stuff before, so I've one of the other couple who writes on my blog I've got to get them over to. I'll photograph them tomorrow and then send them up there for them to play with and do the review for me. So
yeah, I think the Mario is definitely. Yeah, you got to like that sort of stuff. I've got the Mario starter kit in a few bits, but I think once I then done one, it's just sat there. It's all in a box. And
mine is exactly the same. Where is it? Yeah. It's in a box just here.
Yeah,
I built it once, and I'm like, now what do I do? Yeah. I have no idea. I didn't even realize there was an app for it until today.
It's okay. I think for kids it's all right, but I think it's just one of those things that the novelty will wear off. And that's why bringing the waves in, and people like me, we like to collect them, don't we? So
that's the thing, and it's not my thing. But Tim and Danny, who'll be writing the review, they've got a couple of young kids. They love to play it. Tim and Danny absolutely love playing with it. They've got all of Wave 1, so they'll write the review and get to keep that one. So it's nice. It's nice. We've got like a little group of us who all work on the blog. So I'll do kind of the press release stuff and kind of some opinion piece kind of things. We've got Sam, who's been doing a lot of the Lego Masters International pieces, which is really cool. And then Tim and Danny do some opinion piece type stuff as well, and reviews, because Tim's got a ridiculous eye for detail on all things Lego, so he's fantastic for that.
That's mad.
Yeah, it's great. It's a nice little team, and everyone gets hooked up with Lego. So
yeah, that's it. That's what you need, isn't it? This one's from Shadow Wolf 99. He said, "How did we meet on Lego ideas, and what's your favourite idea that you've made?" But I'm not sure if have you made something.
You can answer this one.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, I met you through Ben Andrews, who he's done a few. He does a lot of commission work, doesn't he? For different people on sort of Lego ideas and things that people want to do for their channels. He's done a skater park, which is really cool. I love how he's done it. And yeah, he's just really, really, really nice guy. Unfortunately, he's in Melbourne, so I don't get to speak to him as much as, which is obviously where you are. But yeah, I don't speak to him as much as I'd like to. But yeah, we sort of say hello every so often and have a chat. So that's how we kind of met. He mentioned your channel to me and said, "Go check them out," and that's it. Rest is history.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Ben's a fantastic builder. There's another video in my channel called The Wild Wild West. That was made by Christian, another fellow who does I work with here and there. He had to make it for a year 12 assignment. He asked Ben to build the set for him to film on, but Christian did the script, the filming, the editing, all the rest of it. And it's really good quality stop motion. It puts mine to shame. He's so good. But he uses Dragon Frame and a decent camera as well, so you can see the quality.
It's funny, isn't it, how sort of doing one thing can lead to the next and the next and the next, and it's just weird.
Yeah, that's the thing. You just keep following what you're interested in, and it's surprising what all this can lead into. There's been some really cool opportunities that have come up.
Yeah, and like I say, I really appreciate when I first messaged you that you messaged back, because some people don't message back. They kind of go, you don't even read it.
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't know. I think the more followers people get at times, their ego gets a bit big. But it's a Lego Instagram. Come on, like, it's just Lego. We're all just fans of Lego, right? Like, you gotta just chat to everyone. We're all friends, and we all follow the same people. Like, we're all. You look at another Lego account, you're like, 50, 100 friends in common. It's like, you've been around, you know what's going on.
It's bad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. It's nice to see. It's good to see everyone's work.
Talking about Instagram, we're going to move to the next question. It's not a question about Instagram, but he only started 3 months ago on Instagram, and I get on really well with him. There's a question from Lego Dad UK. He does some really good photos on there. He just does it as he wanted to sort of show what he can do, and have a bit of fun with it as well. And he builds with his children, which is really cool. We're getting really well. He's asking you, this is going to be a weird question for me. He said he loves your videos, truly amazing, loves your reviews. And he said his question was to ask you what you'd ask me.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
good question.
I'm dreading
it was a weird way to start it. Like, I love your photography and video. What would you ask Martin? I don't want to know about you. I want to know what you'd ask Martin. I guess you're quite early days with your YouTube. It's quite young, but you're off to a flying start. You're up to over 700 subscribers. What's your goals, or what's your next goal, and what's your end goal?
My next goal, I'll be happy when I get 1,000 subs. I'd love to get a little bit of monetization, but purely just to feed the habit and the channel. So I'd love to be able to just say, right, okay, I can, because my wife, she doesn't mind me spending money on Lego, but it could go somewhere else if you know what I mean.
It could flip really quickly.
Yeah, so if it would technically go into the channel. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to just sort of like improve what I do, get a better laptop and things like that, and get more sort of more lighting, that sort of thing. I buy things as I go, but it'd be nice just to get a little bit of helping hand there. So my next, I mean, I'll be happy for like 1,000 subs by March, because I'm getting old. So I'm 40 in March, so that'd be a nice birthday present.
Nice gift,
yeah, and then I don't know, I really enjoy my day-to-day work. I love doing what I do. I love the fire and flood restoration. I get to meet some really cool people, and my boss doesn't bother me, so he lets me just do what I need to do. Which is amazing. But I just want it to go wherever the channel is going to go, and it's kind of strange, because when I first started, I was like, I want to do some speed builds, just sort of share what I think is a nice set, and then it's gone all the way to doing this sort of stuff.
It's good, and it's a nice variety of things you've got going on as well. And then where do you see it not ending, but what do you consider I've made it?
Don't know. I wouldn't mind to get some free stuff from Lego. That's what I wouldn't mind. Do something like that. That'd be nice to be recognised, to go, look, here's a set, have a look at it, review it, and get it out. I think that would be quite a nice thing, because then at least you got recognition from Lego themselves, not just. I mean, if Lego never did anything, it wouldn't really bother me, because I'm really enjoying the community, and I've met some really cool people.
Yeah, I'm in a group chat with 4 other registered Lego fan meter accounts. So we're ambassadors, and they do send us stuff for review, which is fantastic. And this is going to sound it's a blessing and a curse in a way, because this is the time of year where there's a lot of new stuff coming out. January 1st, you've got a new modular. There's a bunch of new city sets, new Marvel sets, new Mario. It's like release time of year, right?
Yeah.
Which is fantastic, but then we've also got a lot of things arriving. So I had 2 parcels arrive today. I've got another 2 coming tomorrow, and this is stuff that we've got to review, and there's an expectation to do it by a certain date. And we're not living off this. It's great that we've got this relationship with Lego, and they come to us, they communicate with us for ideas and conversation, and we get to review stuff for them. And you don't have to buy as much Lego these days, which is it's a blessing. But you've got these day jobs that you've got to work around. It actually gets quite stressful that you've got to meet these deadlines of reviews. So the Rambling Brick, do you know the Rambling Brick? So his name's Richard, and he's got a very successful blog, but he's also a doctor and working in healthcare at a time like this. It's there's a lot going on, and he's trying to maintain his blog throughout all of this, and he's got a lot of stuff to review this week. So it is amazing, but it can be quite stressful as well. You've got these expectations to meet as a blogger or vlogger. So it's definitely worth aiming for, but it does start to make it feel like a job as well.
I think if you're doing it for like your full-time job, I suppose it's not too bad then, because you got time to dedicate to it. Whereas, like say, juggling everyday life, family, doing your work and stuff. It's quite. You could be up like 20 hours a day, couldn't you, doing stuff?
Yeah, exactly. And this is an interesting conversation for you and I, who have growing YouTubes. Is you get to the point where you can monetize it, you can chuck ads on there, and you might make a little bit of pocket money. And you always have that thought, oh, it'd be great to live off it and just keep doing this. But running it as a Lego channel, it's essentially someone else's IP, and you could get shut down at any moment. I find that too scary. I'm more than happy just to keep it a hobby. If a little bit of coin shows up, that's great. But it's pocket money. It's nice that it's there, but you just got to do it because you enjoy it, and that's what, to me, keeps up the quality of content as well. You're doing it because you love it. You're not doing it because you have to.
Yeah.
When it becomes a job, I'd rethink it.
Yeah, definitely.
which is a horrible thought, but you work to get to a point. It's scary.
Right, we're going to move. That was a good question. I like that one, and it sort of went to me asking you as well. So it was a double-edged question.
Yeah,
we're going to go to the next.
I'll flip it back on you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Next one is from Brick Star Wars Boy 10. His question is, what is your favourite food?
Oh, good one. Well, as I said, I was just down the beach eating some pizza. Pizza's definitely up there for me. Yeah. We did make a delicious mushroom creamy pasta last night as well. I do like a good creamy pasta. But I think Mexican food's just as high on the list. And Japanese, actually. This is a rabbit hole. This is a rabbit hole question. I didn't expect it to go here. I think it depends. Like, I go through waves. Like, there's where I live in Melbourne, Australia. I'm like 2 blocks away from one of the best food streets in the city. Even Melbourne in the CBD, we've just got such amazing restaurants everywhere that it's hard to choose. You've got kind of these medium to high end, Thai and Japanese restaurants, which are delicious. There's a wood-fired pizza place around the corner, which is just absolutely amazing. That's sort of like our Saturday takeaway if we're at home. So yeah, it's a difficult question, and it could change by the day. But yeah, I don't know. I was about to say, but definitely Mexican. But then I'm like, nah, but Italian's pretty good. No, but I like Japanese. I don't know. They all, it depends how you feel, I guess.
I think Brick Star Wars Boys is creating a menu. I think because he asks the question every time, which is cool because find out what people like. But pizza is ranking very high.
Yeah. What about for you? What's your favorite?
Yeah, we do homemade pizza probably once a week.
You make your own dough?
No, I'm agged.
So
No, we
it's
roll it
like-
out, and then the stuff we put on top we make. Well,
right.
that's about
So,
it. That's
so
crazy.
you're getting a base from Tesco, and you're
Yeah.
you're packing your own toppings on.
Yeah, that's it. But I have to do half and half because the wife doesn't like. She just likes a nice plain margarita, so a bit
Yeah,
of chili and that. And then mine, I just whatever meat I can find, I just slap it on there. So I've got
all of the meat.
I've got loads on there. And then when you take out the oven, it's kind of half. It's just disappeared off of it because there's that much on top. But,
That's good. I did a big Europe trip in 2017, and in Naples I did like a half-day pizza course. You know, home of pizza. You can't not do that and learn how to make a proper pizza. Came home and did it once, and it was delicious. But it's just so much work. I never did it again. But it is the plan to do it again and like cook it in the barbecue on the stone plate. That's quite nice. It feels like you've achieved something when you make the dough yourself as well.
I might try that in the future.
Give it a shot. I'll send you the recipe.
Yeah, I do. Cool. Right, we're going to move to the next one. This is from my good mate Corey. Me and Corey have been speaking since beginning of the year, and we do streaming. So our streaming is later on Sundays.
Have you become friends in real life as well with Corey now?
I will when we get over to Canada because he lives in Canada.
Oh, he's a Canadian. Okay, right.
So we've got a 5-hour time difference, but we're definitely going to meet up once this COVID stuff. I might get my jab, get my thing, and I can go wherever I want.
Yeah, you guys have started doing that now, huh?
Yeah, in America started as well, didn't they, this weekend? So
that's right, they did. Yeah.
See what happens. But so he's asking a question. He said, "The sky opens up, and it's going to rain so much water that your Lego collection will be lost to the depths forever. No. You have time to save only 3 sets. Which sets and why?"
I don't know. I read this one earlier, and I'm like, I don't know. Like at that point, like because I got so much, at that point you just be like, stuff it. What's 3 sets to me when everything else is gone? Oh, I don't know. What have I got? Like I look at the modulars, but I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to carry 3 modulars. I'm gonna have to get 1 big one and 2 small ones, and then put the small ones inside the modular. You know what? I'll grab my '89 Batmobile. No, I can still buy that. I'll get something that's discontinued. Get something that's been retired. I don't know. This is too hard. Next question. You know what? I'm going to take my cheap jokes. Let me grab this. Hang on. All right, I had to take my headset out so I could reach. This is my cheap jokes theater. So back 7 years ago when I started Instagramming and YouTubing, I built this made out of the was it the 50th anniversary Lego set? It was like so the cinema part will obviously be familiar. And then it had a car wash and like a town square sort of thing. I built my Cheap Jokes theater out of that, and that was kind of a iconic build for all the comics and things I was doing at the time. So I'd have to take that because that's just got personal history. And then I think I'd grab my pet shop and maybe the fire station or the town hall just for monetary value. I don't want to have to rebuy those.
I say when you got so much stuff, you kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah,
you got ones that like got a bit of emotional attachment, like your theatre. That looks really cool. Like,
and you know, based on how that question was worded, I think I need to start putting my Lego in different locations just for insurance purposes.
Leaving near the door.
yeah, I got to not keep it all in the one house because if this place goes down, it's all gone. Get some extra insurance and inventory.
Right, that's a good question. I like Corey does questions with different scenarios. So last week,
whoever you interview next week, can you ask them if they have insurance on their Lego collection for me? That's my question for next week.
Pop a question on.
There we go.
I've done a video probably back in March, April, because I do fire and flood restoration. So I got the Brigade Chiron from a job. He had no insurance on his contents, and his flat caught fire.
Oh.
And he managed to save quite a few, but he couldn't save the Chiron. I was like, do you mind if I use this and take it apart, clean it, and then just tell people why you have to get insurance on these sort of things?
Great idea. Yeah,
and
that's a
I
good
got shared
lesson.
by Beyond the Brick, so they put it on there, and it had like 45,000 views or something. So,
Yeah, they're huge.
but,
yeah, that's a good idea. That's a really smart move. I like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people, when you fit, they don't have insurance. Like, just do it. It's not that much money. The amount of money you spend on Lego, you might as well just spend a tenner a month and
just to be sure, because you hate to lose it all and have nothing you can do about it. But then you've also got to keep the inventory of it as well. So keep an Excel sheet in the cloud that you can keep updating, so you know what you've got. It's all part of it, right? And probably proof.
That's a good thing about having YouTube and Instagram, isn't it? Because you kind of log in what you've got there. I know obviously you sell things on or you give them to other people. So sometimes you're not going to have them all, but at least you've got some kind of proof that you've had it.
Yeah, for most part, there's enough photos I take regularly enough that you'd be like, oh yeah, I've got that.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Gosh, let's hope it doesn't happen.
No, doesn't it? Touch wood. Right, we've got one question left. This is from Snap to Grid Bricks. He says he loves this series. He says you've got an amazing channel, and he says, how does being a different time zone, many hours away from us, influence your content and schedule for posts, or does it not influence it at all?
Well, can you for posting? So I think in my response to that on YouTube, I'm like, well, I'm not in a different time zone. I'm in my time zone.
Yep.
I don't think it matters too much. Like, I used to, when I was posting to Instagram daily, I'd always try to do it first thing in the morning because Europe was awake, US was awake, and we were just waking up. Like, I'd do it quite early, so I'd get the morning traffic in Australia, I'd get you guys in your evening, America in their late afternoon sort of thing. But when you look at the Instagram algorithm now, you scroll through and you're seeing stuff from 1-2 days ago. Doesn't matter. Like, unless people have notifications turned on, they're going to see it anyway. Otherwise, it'll probably show up in your feed based on the algorithm of the things you engage with the most. So providing I'm creating engaging content that people are constantly liking and commenting, they're going to see it anyway. So it's not a big deal. And same with YouTube, you've got kind of a 48-hour window for the video to get some traction, for it to continue that traction. So the time of day doesn't matter too much. What does matter is consistency. So you're doing this every Monday.
Yep.
People know every Monday, Lego Fan UK is going to have a video with an interview with someone, but I know on Monday I'm going to have my video to watch. And the first time you don't do it on a Monday, they're going to be wondering where it is, and they might not come back next week. So it's the consistency that you've got to worry about more than the time of day.
Yeah, I think the only time that time zones really matter is when you try to do live streaming. Really, that's just getting that time. I was up last night on Brick's Toys channel. He was doing a 12-hour stream. I said, I'll pop on. So I popped on at midnight, and finished just after 1. So that was quite a late one for me.
Yep.
Obviously, he was doing 8 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night. So he had a, but it's just those time zones. That's the only thing that can hinder is I think is live streaming and.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, live streaming for sure. And you can imagine the Twitch community, especially Twitch in Australia, would probably find that difficult. When the US is watching, probably need to be streaming first thing in the morning, which, depending on your job, it probably isn't ideal. But for a lot of the stuff I do, interviews, they're all pre-recorded anyway. So Brickvention, which is Australia's largest Lego fan event, we've had to do it online for January next year due to obvious reasons. So last few Wednesdays, we've been pre-recording everything in the evening because a lot of our interviews been with Lego designers in Denmark. So, it's their morning, evening for us. And, every hour we've just been, 3 interviews in a night. We just punch those interviews out and getting it done. And it works for everyone. It's fine. They're at work. They're getting paid. we're there in the evening, which is suitable for us. So
yeah,
you just make it work. It's fine.
that's it, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's good. I really enjoy it, and obviously you enjoy it because you wouldn't do your interviews if you didn't like it.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I feel like you're going down this path as well. Like, interviews are fun to do. Like, it's good finding out about different parts of the community, how different people do things. You've got a really good system where you're getting the questions from your community.
Yeah.
Which I feel like it brings your viewers into the show as well, which I think is a fantastic idea, and it'll make them want to watch because they want to see what the answer to their question is. So
that's what I like as well. The community's like when you first start, you don't realise how the community is, and then you kind of like it will build this weird sort of bond together. And someone's like, you can have a laugh with someone about something. You can have a laugh with someone else about something completely different. And it's I love it. It's weird.
Well, I hope that everyone who's watching has made it to this point in the video, because I love because the interview that I did with the Luke McGregor, Australian comedian building the Ecto One. I want to know what people think of that, because I'd like to do more of them. I just want to know there's an interest for it. Like, do you enjoy watching someone build while they get interviewed? So if you could leave comments on this video or my video, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
I like it. I think it's really good.
Yeah, cool. Thanks.
It's quite cool because like this is obviously we'd never be able to do something like that because you're how many thousand miles away and work that way. But this is I like doing this because obviously I can chat to you live and we can have a bit of a laugh. And but having two people in the same room, it's completely different, isn't it? It's another completely different kind of interview scene, and I love it. It's brilliant. It's like
it's
be under pressure. You trying to build lives on a live stream is quite awkward as well because you concentrate on that, but you want to concentrate on the chat, and you got the rest of the panel talking as well, and you're thinking, right, I need to do this, do that. Whereas, like I say, you're saying here, build this, but while you're doing it, I'm going to give you a bit of a grilling.
And that's the thing you find when you're building Lego, you kind of go into almost like a relaxed state, and you let your guard down, which is great for an interview scenario because you can dig a bit further and people kind of forget what's going on,
Yeah. No, I think it's brilliant. Yes, guys, do check that video out as well. I'll put a couple of links in this video so they can go check out. Obviously, I'll put a couple of video links there as well, so we can have a look and see what the guys think and leave you some feedback. That is not a problem at all. That was our last question, so we're going to leave that today. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone for leaving the questions. As always, love it, brilliant. Can't wait to see what your reaction is to this video as well. And Andrew, thank you very much for coming on. Really, really appreciate it.
My pleasure. I really appreciate being invited. It was a lot of fun.
No, and maybe in the future we can do this live stream if you're up and about, or whichever time it's going to be. Get you on the live streams and
we can make it happen for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But no, I really appreciate it. I want to say massive thank you to everyone again, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, and also subscribe to CheepJokes as well. I pointed the right way that time. And also go check them out on Instagram, and don't forget to check out the website as well, because there's some really cool content on there as well. And we'll leave it there, guys. Thank you very much. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.